Hi, my name is Karen Daniel, and I am the Twitchy Stitcher here on FlossTube and Twitchy Stitcher 01 on Instagram. This is FlossTube number 11, and today's date is Friday, March 27th. Excuse me. I want to welcome you all to my craft room. Hi to all my friends and any new friends who have dropped by. Today I'm going to show the WIPs I've been working on in March up to yesterday. A couple purchases, and I am going to tell you about a new FlossTuber I'm watching and a game I've decided to play at the end. So the first thing I would like to show you is my Northern Cardinal. This is by Cottage Garden Samplings. This is it right now. And this is the one that I had to change the colors on. And I want to tell you, I am really pleased with the new colors. So I've got most of the outlining of the body done, part of the head. I still have to do some fill-in with the burgundy. And I started the tree that is behind, just to get a break from the red. Now, I am at 21% right now, and I am really pleased with the new colors. So it's a go. And that's on a Zweigart Rustico 18 count oatmeal 1/1 using CXC. Now the next one is my 100 stitch a day project for March, and it is the Graveyard Viscornu from the Halloween 2025 Just Cross Stitch book from KEB Studios. Karen also has a floss tube, so watch her. And I have, let me see, the first one, the front is done, except for a teensy bit of cross stitch on the coffins. And I have got part of the two corners are done, and 1/3 corner I'm working on right now. So I plan to finish this for the end of, let me see, the end of March. So hopefully, I have one day at the end of March I don't have filled in, so I can definitely get some extra work done on that. But it's in markup, and because of the way it went into markup, I don't have an accurate count of the percentage, because it went in as a graph, so it counts all the squares, so it won't work for that. Now the next one is the Blue Pearl, and it's by the Witchy Stitcher, but her pattern is called the Black Pearl. Sorry it's such a terrible printout, but that's all there was. So, and this is on a 16 count malarkey by the Witchy Stitcher by Kaylee at thesewingshop.ca, and I'm doing this all in one strand of Floss. And what you can see is I've changed the black pearl to the blue pearl, and I just have the crow's nest and part of the mainsail done. It's 5,768 stitches, and in the month of March I was able to get it to 25%. So this is not a big stitch, but those clouds, like this looks like the sun trying to break through storm clouds and that to me, and I just thought that was wonderful. And let me see, what do we have next? This bag by Carla, my daughter, and in it is the pink flamingo, and I was able to get some more work done on it. And there it is. I got all these parts done, and I started to work up in the neck of the flamingo. I just love these colors. And this is by Stitchcraft by Mary. It's on 14 count white Ada, and it's for Melanie of Uplift Stitches, her birthday Sal. But I'm going to keep this up. I'm going to try to work on it a couple days every month until it's done. It's 5,378 stitches, and I have it up to 34% right now. And when it's finished, it's going to look like this. I love flamingos, but I think it's because they're pink. And I love pink and green together. They're like a winning combination. So I really like this. The next one is my temperature stitch. And it's by Satsuma Street. And it's called Local Conditions. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. This beautiful cityscape. And I work on it every Sunday morning. And so this is up to date to last Sunday. And it is at 21% done. It's 6,052 stitches all total. And this is on a 16 count Baba Ganoush, 2 strands of CXC over 1. And as you can see, for winter, we've got some temperate stitches in there. These are about like above 10 degrees Celsius, up to 14, 16. We've gotten some, it's like January thaw happened in March, a couple days at a time. It's just really strange temperature. But anyway. The next one is my Monday stitch. This is the one that's taken over the slot of Threads of the Universe, which is my full coverage on 20 count, which is on hold until I can get my eyes checked and get new glasses because I'm having a bit of a problem seeing the stitches. So Mermaid's Realm is in a Kaylee bag. And this is how far I've got. So in March, I have stitched all of this wave section up here, around here, and down here to this little turtle. And this is on 16 count Baba Ganoush by the Sewing Shop. And it is now at 21%. And I started that the very first day, well, the 8th, actually the 8th of January was the first time I started it. And it's adorable. I love Joan Elliott. I always have room to start another Joan, which is, yeah, plans. Oh, well. The next one is my WIPGO, or one of 2 WIPGOs. This is, let me get the picture of it, The Sorceress by Joan Elliott. And I started it in May of 2024. That's it right there. And you will know that Katherine and Leigh on her floss tube. She finished this and framed it. And the fabric it's on is Shirley Temple by Kaylee Ten Stitch. And what I did for WIPGO, I did this owl, the raven, the pillow, and I started on the gift box or treasure chest that's right there. And all those white dots will be beads. Beautiful stitch. Oh, and I did part of the arm of the chair. So I started that in May of 2024. It's 18,722 stitches. And at the end of WIPGO for March, I am now at 42%. Oops, I just dropped a piece of paper. Just a minute. And the next WIPGO is Whole Lot of Latte. And again, not a great picture. It's a Dimensions kit by Barb Tudelotti. And it's an older kit. It's been around for quite a while. And it's on 14 count partridge. The total stitches are 11,679. And it has been in WIPGO twice last year. And this WIPGO takes it to 71%. So what I did was I did all of this cup and I got started on the next cup up there. So I didn't do the plate, but I did the cup, all that up there, the spilled coffee. And this is one of the dimension kits that is all done in 2-strand, and the only 3 strands is the steam that I've run into so far. But this is a whole lot of latte, and I love the colors for it. And if you know Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, is also working on this one. I'm not sure if she's got it finished or yet. Next is my Edwardian dollhouse. That's my leap year that I work on 2 days every month that I started in February of 2024. And at the end of 2024 to the end of 2025, I'm at 75%. So I've been making good amounts every month. I worked on it yesterday, and today I finished working on it. But I've been working on the kitchen, and what I've been doing is all the blue, massive amounts of blue for the painted. I did work a little bit on the sink. I want to finish the sink, finish the blue. And as you can see, this is a basket of clothes. That's a bottle. There's 2 tea towels on a rack and some kitchen things up here. Plant and another plant. So I won't get it done this month, but next month it'll be done and I can start doing back stitching on this section. So I mentioned it's at 81% and it's on 14 count Ada. And this is out of a magazine. But I did come across a PDF pattern of it. I don't know where. But I have the magazine, so I don't mind stitching a PDF if I own the original copy, and I own all the magazines that, because this was spread over 3 magazines. I Spy by Laura, Stitching at the Shore. I got a couple more pieces. Let me see, what did I have? For March, it's 2 Shades of Green, and that's the Pink Flamingo. Something You See in a Park was a Whole Lot of Latte. Starts with an R is Mermaid's Realm. Stripes is the Northern Cardinal, the tail. A Girl Scout cookie flavor. I don't have that yet. I might not get it. I'm not sure. A lucky object. I didn't have that before, but I've decided my pink flamingo is a lucky object. So I have another pink flamingo coming up. Actually, I have 2 coming up. One is a mandala and one is a Mill Hill kit. So it looks like this year, last year I stitched frogs. This year it seems like it's going to be pink flamingos. So that's going to be my lucky object. Cat or a Hat was a sorceress cat. Something with spring with seeds. My spring pots have flowers. Flowers have seeds. That's it. Karen, I tried. Found in a poem. I still haven't researched that. I imagine there's lots of things found in poems, so I'll get there. And Something Springy is my spring pots. My purchases. I got Pigeon Coop had a sale on, and I got the Humpback Whale. Now, I'll be stitching that in May with Charlie from Stitching with Charlie. She's going to have a whale stitch along. I forget the name of it, but if you watch Stitching with Charlie, you'll see that come up. So that will be a May project. And I also bought the hummingbird because it's so pretty. So I don't know when I'll stitch this one, but it's a quick one. So I imagine I'll just fit it in with something. And the other thing I did was I subscribed to Shannon Christine's Easter Countdown. I love the setup on this. I've done the Halloween one. I have the Christmas one partially kitted up. And this is the Easter one that is available right now, so you can sign up for it and get all the stitches. So what happens is you can change all the pieces in here. So it's like a frame, and you can change the pieces. And then I'm going to show you the pieces to see where it is. Now this one goes right at the end. So you can put that one or that one in. What a great idea. The next one, how can I show this, is at the bottom, the garland. So you have 3 different garlands you can put in place there. The next one, which is 10 Days to Go, is the second one, right there, the bunny. You can put the watering pot or the chick in an egg in that spot. And the one for today, with 9 days to go, is the truck that you can put in there, or you can put the wagon. I so want to put them both in, but I'll have to check the stitch count. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about a new Floss tuber I've watched. She only has 2 shows out right now, and it's Stacey of Stitchy Sprinkles. She is an unapologetic Ada stitcher. She has very good over the years, she has set her standards and she knows exactly what she likes to do, and why she likes it. And I really respect that in her. Plus, she's so much fun to watch. She's very engaging and just so natural. You just sit there and get drawn into her little room. And she started a game called Tag You're It. And it's a bunch of questions. And I decided that I'm going to play tag with her. So these are the questions. Now, if you go to Stitchy Sprinkles, #2, she has a list in her description of all the questions, so you can copy them down and play tag with us if you'd like to. So the first question is, what kind of stitcher are you? And we all know I like stitching pretty pictures. Joan Elliott, fancy ladies. They don't have to be fairies, but I really like her fairies. And I have discovered I really like monochromatic stitching. Or even with 2 or 3 colors, like really simple amount of coloration, I really enjoy. #2 is, do you plan your projects or stitch whatever? Boy, do I plan my projects. I'm going to show you something. This was February's plans. I plan everything. So, and I stitch to my plans. I do have a wheel I spin for new starts, but generally new starts just happen when friends suggest something that would be fun to stitch together. But yeah, I generally do plan everything down to the, like, by the end of March, I have the first 3 weeks of April planned. So there's a little leeway, but I have to tell you, everything is penciled in, so it can be changed. #3, are you a morning stitcher or a night owl? Neither. I get up in the morning, have a coffee, and read. I love to read, and I end my day reading also. I stitch from around 11 to maybe 4:30 or 5 o'clock. That's my stitching period. That's my day of stitching. Sometimes I'll get a little bit more in the morning, but generally that's when I stitch, and that's when well, in the morning I have things I need to get done before I can sit down and stitch. So that's the reason for that. #4, do you stitch in silence, music, TV? Not in silence. I don't mind silence. But I generally listen to books, Audible, books on TV. I watch Floss too while I stitch. And I watch documentaries, like historical documentaries, nothing to do with war, but geography, natural history, dinosaurs. I like watching a lot of those shows. #5, are you a neat stitcher or thread chaos? First of all, thread chaos doesn't bother me on other people's stitches. I think it's kind of funny, actually. But I am a neat stitcher. If I get a knot, I frog back. If I get a knot, I rip it out. I make it right. My backs are very neat. I generally don't stitch over, I don't carry thread for more than 3 or 4 stitches at the most. Sometimes I'll weave it under to carry it a little bit farther, but I'll just stop and start again. I don't have a problem with that. I'm a loop stitcher, and then I use a pin stitch. So it doesn't bother me to start and stop all the time. #6, do you frog your mistakes right away or ignore them? Well, obviously I frog them, because if I wait to go back to it, I'll never remember. I've never had a really good memory. So I know that if I have to go back to it and try to figure it out, it's going to take me time. So I always frog right away. My favorite fabric count, well, that's 14 and 16. I have discovered I like 1/1 on 18 count, but I would say my favorite is 16. Um, and because I use a lot of dyed fabrics, it's almost 7. It's generally between a 16 and a 17 count, and 2/1. That's my favorite. That's generally what I buy, unless I have a specific project in mind, and then I'll go to something different. But I do have a stash of 18 count. So I have a stash of 14, 16, 18. So those are basically them, but 16 is my sweet spot. Number 8, full coverage or small designs. I do have a full coverage. I have one that's on hold that I'm going to talk about probably in April. Or small designs. Just a second, I got a notice that came up. I generally don't do a lot of small designs. I like between probably 5,000 yeah, no, I do 2 or 3,000 because I do like biscornus and that. So I guess I like smalls to what I call a medium, which is about 35,000 stitches. And my fancy ladies generally fit between 20 and 35. So that's a really good size. That's a size I really like because you get enough detail and it's lots of pretty colors. And so I tend to think of myself as a medium-sized stitcher, but I do stitch smalls. And what colors do you gravitate to? Well, bright, pretty, summery colors. I like spring colors. I like summer colors. And I like the depth of winter colors, deep reds, deep cranberries, black. About the only colors I don't like are fall colors. I'm not fond of rust, oranges, peaches, any of those colors I'm not that fond of. I do stitch pumpkins and I make them orange, but I'm not attracted to a color, to a stitch that has lots of golds or oranges or rust. It's just, yeah, it's just not attractive to me. Are you into cute, realistic, or primitive? Definitely not primitive. I would have to say more than realistic or cute. I would have to say fantasy. My fancy ladies, they're all fantasy. Fairies and witches, and Halloween is fantasy. So I have done a couple of cute things here or there. Like Shannon Christine does a lot of cute things, and I like those. But it's a combination of cute things and really pretty colors that appeal to me. Seasonal stitching or whenever. Definitely whenever. I like seasonal stitching, but I stitch it out of season. I will stitch summer anytime, Halloween anytime. I tend to stitch spring in spring because I just want to get rid of the winter stuff. So yeah, it's whenever it comes up or I want to. Printed patterns are digital. Digital all the way. If it's not digital and I can't get it into digital, I don't do it. Kits or do it yourself. I do have a few kits. But the only reason I buy kits is because I can't get them any other way for that design. So it's the design, and that's the only way to get it, so I buy the kit. Sally King's shoes are one thing I buy the kit for, because that's the only way you can get it. But I have a full range of CXC DMC colors. In fact, I have probably 2 or 3 of every color there is. So I just kit up my own projects. I figure out the stitch count and only pull the correct amount of strands. So I don't think I have things tied up in kitted fabrics. Most of my floss is ready to get kitted up. It's all on floss drops and filing cabinet. So number 14 is your favorite finish: hoop, frame, pillow, leaner. I do like hoop finishes because I like circles. They're soft. I like them. They're round. They're pretty. I frame my beaded stitches. And I would say my next favorite way is just a wall hanging. Just hem the edges, put something on the back, and hang it on the wall. So you can just roll it up and take it back and forth, especially for seasonal things. But my favorite finish is obviously just hanging it on the coat hanger in the closet, because that's where so many just end up. So yeah, oh well. Number 15, busy patterns or simple designs. And I would have to say busy patterns. Lots of colors, lots of things going on. I'm definitely not a prim stitcher by any means. I like, it's like eye candy to me, so it has to really appeal to me. 16, an underrated supply everyone should try. And where is mine? And they're dirty because I use them all the time. But these mascara ones, you get a container of about 30 at Dollarama with all different colors in them. But I'm always using them to pick up floss when I frog, or ends, or cat hair. But these are great little guys, and if you get sick of them, you toss them and crack open a new one. But I think they're wonderful. Do you care about stitching rules? Any of my friends can tell you I have been a rule breaker my entire life. If it's not illegal, I don't care. 18, parking versus cross country, and I have to say neither. Parking to me is messy. I can work with 2 strands, like have 2 needles going at the same time, but that's it. It just, yeah, my brain can't wrap my mind around park stitches, and I'm constantly checking to make sure I've got the right color and the right corner, and it's just, it takes the fun out of it. And cross country, definitely not, because so many of us in cross stitching, we don't have the greatest counting skills. We may have great math skills, but not counting. So I like when I can count off of other objects. So I continuously work off an object in a direction, and cross country to me would just be a disaster waiting to happen with my skill level. Number 19, the first floss tube. The first floss tube I ever watched was Jen Hicks, and it was a few years ago, and her and her husband were packing up to leave Hawaii, and she had totes I'm talking, now I was a monogamous stitcher up until this point. I didn't know you could have a couple things or more going. And she had totes, totes, I mean, big packing totes of projects she was working on. And it just boggled my mind. And Jen was she's so casual about things anyway, and just whatever. And it just blew my mind. And she had mentioned someone else's floss tube in that floss tube, and I went to it. And then the rabbit hole and spiraling, and I was gone. So yeah, everything you see now is based on Jan Hicks. So thanks, Jan. I know you don't watch me, but I appreciate you. And 20. And 27. There's only 8 more questions to go. What kind of floss tube do you watch? And I watch people that have hundreds of WIPs, people that have under 10 WIPs. I generally do not watch quilters. So I generally watch floss tubers that mainly concentrate on floss tube, or a little bit of knitting or crocheting, but just a couple projects. Because I like even people who do paper crafting or what other crafting things, diamond painting. I do diamond painting also, but I knit, I crochet. So I have a lot of craft interests, so I watch pretty well. I generally do not watch people who stitch a lot of Americana. Being a Canadian, it means nothing to me. I don't watch prim stitchers. But I do have a really good friend who stitches samplers all the time, and I love watching her samplers. But Kim, the contented needleworker, and it's all pink and birds and flowers, and it's all these beautiful things I love. I don't do samplers, but I can appreciate the beauty of them. 21. What made you start your own channel? Peer pressure. There was Karen the Stitching Owl, Laura Stitching by the Seashore, Kim the Contented Needle Worker, and Katie, Jeremiah's mom. And it was peer pressure. You'll love it. You'll be great at it. We want to see you. We want to see what you're doing. Yeah. My friends dragged me down this rabbit hole, and I have to say I went willingly, and it's been a blast. I really didn't know what I would enjoy doing this or not, but it's getting to be a lot of fun. 22, what kind of content do you want to create? Exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm just showing you what I'm working on and having fun doing, and sharing the patterns and designers that I love. 23. Favorite part of the stitching community is doing Zooms, talking with my friends, enabling each other, sharing what we're working on, sharing what we're having a problem with, or colors we're having a problem with, or a floss or fabric, and sharing all the ideas that these people with years of stitching, the knowledge we have to share is just amazing. So I have to say Zooms. I have a Zoom with my friends. I attend an open Zoom with Karen the Stitching Owl that's every other Tuesday. And I have Canada Swaps, which is one Sunday a month, which is all Canadian, a Canadian Zoom, also done by Karen Stitching Owl. And I have another Zoom that happens once a month with AZ Family Zoo and Karen the Stitching Owl. So I end up with probably 6 or 7 Zooms a month, and I'm always there. Like, they're not only inked in, I got them in marker, okay? So yeah, I have the times down, the days down. I love my Zooms. And I think everybody should try one. I really do. 24. How many WIPs is too many? None. There's no such thing as too many WIPs. For me personally, I like to float between 20 and 25. When I started Floss Tube, I had over 35, almost 40, and I've kind of wrangled it down thanks to WIPGO. But I have to say I'm most comfortable at 20 to 25. But Alara, Jen the Caffeinated Crafter, they all have hundreds of WIPs, and I love watching them. I have to admit, when it comes to hundreds, I do spread their WIP parades out for 2 or 3 sessions. But yeah, no, there's no such number as too many. 25, what's your dream project? And I have to say I have a couple of them. One was my dollhouse. I waited a few years until a Canadian stitcher started the leap year sale, and I jumped in with that one because I knew it was going to take me years to do. And the other one is my Threads of the Universe, which is my project that's on hold right now. It was also a dream project. I waited for years for the cross stitch pattern to come out because it came out in diamond dots or diamond painting at least a couple years ago. And I have the diamond painting, and I was going to take the graph and cross stitch it, but then it came out in cross stitch. So I was very happy about that. What's your stitching pet peeve? And I have to say, I do have one. And that is, I really, but it's a pet peeve, so it's just my thing, is when people pull a project out of a bag and it's a wrinkled mess, needles hanging from it, thread hanging from it, and it looks like it was rolled up in a ball and stuffed in a too small bag. That's it. Like, respect the project, respect the fabric, respect the floss, respect the needle, fold it nicely, roll it, hang it, but stuffing it in a bag like it's dirty clothes, that's my pet peeve. I'm sorry if you do it, but that's my pet peeve. 27. What's something you always do while stitching? I always have noise going on. So generally it's an audible book, a floss tube, but I always, something I wish I did when I was stitching was drink more water. I always forget I've got a drink going. So it'll be like an hour and I'll realize, oh, I need to take another drink. So I wish I could get my brain wrapped around the fact that I need to drink more often, because it would make my life much simpler than trying to get it all down at night. And the last one, number 28, if you could only stitch one theme forever, what would it be? And it would be Joan Elliott, her Fancy Ladies. I like her monochromatics, but yeah, if I could only stitch one thing, it would be Joan Elliott forever. Yeah, very happy doing her Karnak beads, the whole thing. I love it beginning to end. And those beautiful faces of hers, they just draw me in every single time. So anyway, that's Tag You're It. So if you want to join Tag, go over to Stitchy Sprinkles, copy down out of her description, copy down the questions, and do a floss tube. So and let me know you're doing it. And so thank you for watching this very extended video. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, comment, and watch Karen the Stitching Owls. Her next video will be next Friday. Well, so she posts it for midnight, so it'll be Saturday morning. So watch Karen and see what else she's up to. So thank you for your time and have a great day. Bye.